Hello, this is Greg Gals from Green Greg's coming to you on 5 April 22. Time on deck is 3,300 hours Central Daylight Time. And tonight I got a special guest, Doug Thompson. We're going to be talking about things to keep you from becoming a pincushion in a zombie apocalypse. Yes, body armor. And Mr. Thompson has sold it. He's also experimented with some. He's tried to get a patent on one particular set that he come up with, but somebody beat him to the draw, as is typically the case. Great minds think alike at the same time, unfortunately, and sometimes it's the one that gets to the patent office the quickest. But guys, I got told that y'all wanted to see more prepping topics and less of the news, even though the world's about to could go into a cinder mode soon if we're not careful. So I am bringing you what you need to know, like I said, to keep from becoming a pincushion in the zombie apocalypse here. So please subscribe to my channel, bang the bell, update notification bell, and click all so you can keep getting my videos. Subscribe, that is. And Doug's also got his channel, and I'll let him tell you about that here in a second. Uncommon News, and you can subscribe to him too. I think it's still up. You know, he gets a lot of hits. You know, we got to be careful what we talk about here. And this is not a freedom of speech platform. So that's our challenge. Now, my friends, share these videos because of that. You know, my channel gets shadow banned a lot. Now, that said, also, please, right now it's planting season, and you got to realize that it's one of the best investments in the long term when food is being challenged, as I think we're going to see right now, is seeds. Seeds are a great deal because they're small, they're easy to hide, they're easy to transport, and you can produce a lot of food with seeds if you handle them right, or you can barter and trade them in a grid down situation. They will be very valuable. So check out my link below so you can get heirloom seeds, open air pollinated seeds from Tree Leaf Market. Those will be the ones that can carry you through when the world turns blue. So that's what you need, my friends. Check out my link below to Tree Leaf Market. All right, enough said about that. Doug, tell us about your body armor experience. So I know you used to sell various things, but you've also experimented. You've told me you don't want to talk about some of it because you're still working on a couple of patents. So what can you tell us, Doug?
Well, first off, I want to start off by saying that just the nature of this topic, by the nature of this topic, the chances are that this video will be demonetized for Greg. So please go ahead right off the bat, just give this video a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment to help him out with that. So really, when we're talking,
that said, I'm not even going to try to monetize this video, because if you monetize the video and they decide to demonetize it, they pick on you merciless thereafter for months. So I'm not even going to try.
So what we're going to get into is really two main topics when we're talking about armor, and we're going to talk about do-it-yourself armor, you know, things that you can make expediently and affordably. And we're going to talk about some things that are available on the market commercially that you can purchase right now, and some of the ratings that are associated with the ones that you can get on the market. So we'll start off by talking about threat assessment. Okay, so the threat assessment, obviously, you know, you're going to need body armor for whatever threat you feel you may be faced with. In the United States, the majority of homicides that are gun related are carried out with handguns, with 9mm, 380, 45, and 22. Now, that being said, most people, when they look for body armor, they're looking for body armor that is designed for combat. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're going to be spending a lot more money when you're looking for that higher rated combat type of armor. So we'll get into some of the NIJ levels real quick. So if you're not already aware, NIJ, the National Institute of Justice rate gives a standard for body armor. And real quick, I'll just go over a rundown. You've got level 2A, which is, it covers your short barrel handguns, primarily 9mm, and it will protect you against 9mm traveling at roughly 380 meters per second. Then the level 2 is a little step up from 2A. It's 9 mil. It provides protection from 357 and 9mm traveling at 425 meters per second. Then you've got 3A. These are all soft body armors. These ratings are for soft body armor. And then you've got 3A, which provides protection against 44 Magnum, traveling at 426 meters per second. And it also protects against 357 SIG. And then you've got your hard armor, which is level 3. Now, don't mistake this for 3A. Level 3 provides protection against your combat threats, like 762, traveling at really high speeds. We're talking 838 meters per second. And then level 4 protects against 30-06 armor penetrating rounds, traveling at 838 meters per second. So really, when you're looking to purchase armor, you want to do the threat assessment. What threat do you want to protect against? Is it going to be combat or is it going to be crime? Because those are there's a very big difference between the two. You know, in the United States, we're not in a combat scenario, at least not yet. So, you know, if you want to get some soft armor to protect against the crime-related threats, namely handguns, then you want to look for, you know, some of the soft armor. And a couple of the brands that I would recommend would be Safe Life Defense. AR 500 armor has some good soft armor as well. Point Blank and Safariland. You can still get some old military vests on eBay, but you got to really make sure you know what you're looking at. So make sure you have at least a veteran look at it with you before you purchase it on eBay, because they know what they're looking at. If you come across an Interceptor with the Kevlar panels still in there, or maybe an IOTV with the Kevlar panels still in there, if you got a friend that was a veteran, you know, have him or her take a look at it and make sure it's legit. Yeah, I mean, that's the basics with talking about stuff that's on the market. Now we're gonna briefly go into some things that you can make on your own. So DIY. Now I've done a lot of research and development for my company regarding, I would just call it expedient armor and affordable. So these things we're going to talk about are materials that can be sourced indigenously at your local steel supply company, but still get the job done. We're talking about saving quite a bit of money with some of these things. So I'll just go ahead and throw out a couple of the things that I found through my R&D. The two best materials that I found was 11 gauge mild steel, and that will protect against the majority of your most common street threats. So 9mm, 45, 380, and 22. The mild steel, you can, at least down here at my steel shop, last time I purchased a 4-foot by 10-foot sheet, it was $310. And I could get it was 48 armor panels out of it. I could cut 48 armor panels. And this is what it looks like here. All right. So this is a 9.5 inch wide by 12 inches tall. Okay. I don't know if the lighting is right, but right here, you can see this was from a 380. This is my display piece when I go to the gun show. And this is an impact from a 9mm. There's a little bit of back face deformation, but not very much. You know, we're talking about, you know, very affordable and very effective piece of armor here. Now, granted, this thing weighs 3.5 pounds, but you know, the cost is very low. So when you're, you know, if you're trying to get armor for a lot of people, this is definitely a good option. Now, one of the other materials that I used to make and sell was 6061 aluminum, structural aluminum, 1/4 inch. So a 1/4 inch aluminum does very well with your street threats as well. 9mm, 45, 380, 22. And the benefit with 6061 aluminum is that the backface deformation is significantly less. The kinetic energy gets spread out through a wider area, and so the felt impact is a lot less. So, but the problem with 6061 aluminum is that it has gone up in price significantly since 2019, and that is the reason why I no longer sell armor plates that are made out of 6061. And that's why I moved to 11 gauge mild steel. Now, the armor panels that I sell are marketed for airsoft, but as you could see, and that's for legal purposes. But as you could see, I have done extensive testing on those panels. So if you're interested in getting one of those panels, they're $50 free shipping on my website, and the link will be in the description box below. It's fortisignisarmor.com. Now, let's see, if you want to make armor for combat scenarios, I would first of all, I would advise against it. But if you had to make it on your own, one of the things you can do is you can use one of those two materials that I just mentioned as a base to start with. So 11 gauge mild steel or 6061 1/4 inch. And then you can stack two ceramic tiles on top of that, preferably commercial grade or industrial grade tiles. Now there's a rating, there's a porcelain rating for tiles. It's called a PEI rating. It stands for Porcelain Enamel Institute. It goes from 1 to 5, 5 being the strongest and 1 being the softest. I would recommend, if you're going to do this, you would go with a 4 or a 5. Okay, so the back, you would stack the ceramic would be in front of your plates. Now, obviously, the bottom plate would have to be flat to accommodate the ceramic. And to attach the ceramic to your metal, your alloy, either your aluminum or your steel, you want to use some kind of composite material. I would recommend fiberglass if you can do it. And if you can't get fiberglass, or there's a problem with fiberglass, you can also use what's called poor man's fiberglass, or PMF. Poor man's fiberglass is a combination of canvas cloth and tight bond glue, wood glue. You want to do at least 5 or 6 wraps of that around the material, and believe it or not, it performs pretty well. Not that it's preferable over
burlap and wood glue.
It's believe it or not, it's actually stronger than you might think. But
that's funny.
As far as indigenous materials go, if you want to just go with straight metal, you could do a 1/2 inch mild steel, and that will stop your 5.56 ball ammo and 7.62. A 1/2 inch mild steel, though, is really heavy, so you got to be strong to carry. Or 1 inch aluminum. 1 inch structural aluminum will do it as well. So if you can get those materials just by themselves, they're not very expensive. You save quite a bit of money. But
well, if money was not an object, what would be your preference between the aluminum and the steel?
Well, if money was not an option, I would personally go with ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. I would buy it. I would be buying, commercial armor panels. If we're talking about for combat, the conventional armor that you've got right now on the market is AR 500 steel, which is very affordable. It's like $100 per plate. They can withstand multiple hits without losing their structural integrity. They are a little bit more heavy. Well, they are the heaviest ones that you can get as far as conventional armor is concerned. But they're like 8 pounds per plate. But the trade-off is the price. The price is on point. The other option you've got is boron carbide plates. Now these are, last time I checked, they were like $900 per plate, but they're very lightweight. And some of them are multi-hit capable, or well, at least they say they're multi-hit capable. But if you get hit in the same spot twice, it's gonna deteriorate. The structural integrity is going to deteriorate, so you're likely to see penetration in one of those. But ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, which it's just UHMWPE, is one of the most modern ones that you can get now. They're like $300 per plate, very lightweight. They're 2 pounds, more multi-hit capable than the boron carbide. The only problem is you got delamination to worry about, which it's not really that big of a deal. There's 2 others that are on the market. There's silicon carbide. That's
you probably got a poor man's delamination control. I would say that probably duct tape.
Yeah, well, at that point, if you're still alive after the delamination, then you just spend another $300 and get another one.
Some duct tape for your ribs at that point.
Yeah, well, my experiments with duct tape were not very promising. I wouldn't use duct tape with armor for anything. So I've tried the duct tape, I've tried the saran wrap, and I would not recommend it. Fiberglass is a better option. Poor man's fiberglass can do the job, but you got to layer it on.
Interesting.
Yeah, but those are, as far as the conventional armor plates are concerned. Those are your best options there. AR 500 I would recommend that the most. So let's talk about helmets real quick. Now,
so it's really a matrix. You gotta balance the threat and what you got in your pocket.
Right, exactly.
And most of us, our wallets aren't that thick, especially while we're trying to buy food and kibbles to feed our nugs, if you know what I mean.
And that's the exact reason why I did so much research and development for my airsoft plates. What I was trying to do was find the most affordable way to protect against the most common street threats that you would face in the United States. And that's
that's why I brought you in. This is why I brought you in, because you get somebody from a regular company, one of these professionals, they're going to be pumping the heck out of whatever their product line is. But I knew you'd give us the straight skinny from a regular Joe who's involved in this to a great deal. So I think you're going to give some of the best analysis on this topic that somebody can get that is interested in staying safe and preserving their pocketbook.
Well, I appreciate it, Greg. I definitely appreciate the time you're giving me. Now, to quickly touch on helmets, most of your used Army helmets are going to be made out of Kevlar, and they've started to go up in price recently. I used to be able to get them for $85. Now they're up to $110, $120. If you can afford one of those, I would highly recommend it. If you cannot afford a Kevlar helmet, there still are some options for you, and you're going to want to write these down. These are, pre-1980s steel helmets, but they're still very, very good helmets. Your Bulgarian M1971 is probably going to be the most affordable helmet, and it's going to protect you against the most common street threats that you would face in the United States. You can find those on eBay for $25 plus shipping. Most of those come from Eastern Europe, so you'll have to wait a little bit for them to arrive, but it is worth the investment. So Bulgarian M1971 is about 25 to 30 bucks.
Given the activities in that pocket of the world, is there much availability of this stuff?
Believe it or not, there is. And actually Belarus, most of the old Soviet SSH 68s, they're steel helmets. They have I've seen numerous videos on YouTube where people take those helmets and they shoot them with a 9mm, and believe it or not, it defeats the 9mm, which is a very significant threat. And
well, we had steel pots when I was in the Army, and we loved steel pots because you could take them off and you could still cook in them.
I wouldn't recommend
water in them. We used them for that.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. But
I'll do that with your carbon composite ones, but the steel pot, they have a lot of utilities. They made good hammers, field hammers.
I've heard. I've heard of. Well, I shouldn't say that on here. When I was in the Army, there was and some other veterans would know, there was I guess you would call it not ceremony, but something we used to do each other when and it involved two turtles. I'll just leave it at that. You would take your Kevlar and smack the other guy upside the head if he was wearing his Kevlar. It was we called it turtle love. So anyways,
so you watch some ceremonies.
Yeah. Moving on. So you've got your Bulgarian M1971. That's going to be the most affordable. You've got the Romanian M73. Those are getting a little bit more expensive. They're 40 bucks now. Then you've got the East German M56 76. Those are similar price to your ACH, MIC, and MIC, and PASG. So probably would forego the East German, but the Soviet SSH 68, that one is about 40 bucks right now on eBay. There are some other stores in the United States that have them available, and they sell for around the same price. But all of those helmets provide pretty decent protection against the most common street threats that you would face in the United States. Now, as far as rifle rounds are not going to stop that. There's no helmet affordably on the market right now that can protect against a rifle round. But I have been working or doing a little bit of research and development on a accessory for Kevlar helmets to make them rifle rated, but that's not available right now. So anyways, so moving on to other types of armor. Now,
hey, some reactive armor on top of our helmets with a little radar to watch the incoming bullet, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wish I had that kind of ability.
A little propeller to keep you cool.
I'm not exactly that sophisticated. Yeah, maybe one day, maybe one day something.
Like one with a glum topic.
Yeah. So obviously we were just talking about armor for your body, but there are other types of armor you might want to take into consideration as well. There's armor fighting positions, or just armor panels for your house. One of the easiest things that you could do, now this isn't ballistic protection, but one of the most vulnerable spots in your house, if not the most vulnerable spot in your house, are your windows. Okay, you might want to consider, while you still can, investing in anti-shatter window film. You can find that on Amazon. And what it is it's basically a thick vinyl film. It's like a big sticker, like a big see-through sticker that you can put on the inside of your window, and then you want to caulk around it. And what that does is it prevents your window from shattering. So there's a bunch of videos online on YouTube where you can see people taking a bat to the windows and just swinging and swinging and swinging, not able to get through. It's very effective. It's very affordable. You can get it off Amazon, a roll of it off Amazon for, $50, and some rolls, like the 12 mil stuff, which is thicker, provides more protection than the 8 mil. Large rolls of that go up to like 125, $150, but it's worth it if you install it yourself. It's really easy to do. All you need is a spray bottle. You clean your windows with Windex first, get a spray bottle, fill it up with some soapy suds, spray your window on there. You put the vinyl up, you can move it around, and then you squeegee it with a squeegee and squeegee the soapy water out, and that's it. And then you caulk around the edges to connect it to the frame of your window. Now, we'll talk about some other materials that you could use for providing ballistic protection inside your house, or maybe in a position that you have outside your house. Now, obviously, sandbags are the preferred go-to method for this. One of the ways you might be able to get sandbags, if you don't have the money to purchase a whole bunch of them, you might want to actually go down to your water utility and see if they hand out or give out sandbags for free to the local population. Like down here in El Paso, when we had a lot of rain a couple years ago, and the water utility was handing out sandbags for free. So my family took advantage of that, and we got as many as we could. So you might want to look into that as an option for acquiring sandbags. Another thing you can do is cinder blocks. Maybe there's a junkyard or some place where you can salvage cinder blocks. Instead of having to buy a whole bunch of them, you can source them somewhere for free and bring them back to your house or wherever. And then when you stack them up, you want to fill the insides with dirt or sand or cobblestone or whatever. But a cinder block by itself will defeat an AK-47. It's not multi-hit capable if you're not filling it in with dirt and sand, but it does provide the protection against combat threats. And also, depending on the way that you position them, it could provide more protection. So if you're going to use dirt or sand or cobblestone, let me see, I got my chart here. For cobblestone, you're going to need at least 3 inches of it to protect against 5.56, 4 inches of cobblestone to provide protection against AK-47, 7.62, and you're going to need, you're going to need at least 11 inches to provide protection from a 50 cal. But if you're in the way of a 50 cal, get out of the way. I'll just say, just stay out of the way of a 50 cal. Dry sand, you're going to need about 4 inches to provide protection against a 5.56. 7.62, you're going to need 5 inches of dry sand to provide protection against a AK, and 14 inches of dry sand to provide protection against a 50 cal.
Yeah, people use 50 cals to shoot walls down.
Just stay out of the way of the 50 cal. But I'll give you the information just Just FYI.
Now you might need. Unfortunately, everybody's not toting a 50 cal around on their hip.
Yeah, but yeah,
truck,
Mark Serbu made it affordable though. So if you do want to tout a 50 cal around your hip, talk to Mark Serbu in Tampa.
Oh. Hey, I've got 50 cal, but they're smoke poles.
Oh yeah, black powder.
Yes. They're not even considered a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. You can get that shipped straight to your house.
That's right. I have.
No strings attached.
You don't have to have any paperwork to buy them. So I wonder if I did videos on those, if those would be treated the same on this platform. But I love those.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting question there. I wouldn't know about that, but I do know that anytime you talk about pew-pews, you get demonetized.
Oh yeah.
So,
bad news.
Now, as far as taking cover behind trees, if you're taking cover behind a pine tree, 14 inches will provide protection from 5.56 from the AR-15, and 22 inches will provide protection from an AK-47. And yeah, don't count on a pine tree protecting you from a 50 cal. So there's that list there. Wet sand or earth, it does not provide as much protection as dry sand. So if you got wet dirt, you need 6 inches for an AR-15 to provide protection against AR-15, 13 to provide protection against AK-47, and 21 inches to provide protection from a 50 cal. So those are your armor fighting positions in a nutshell from using armor or using indigenous material as armor. One of the things you can do for if you don't have, let's say you don't have sandbags, you don't have anything to put the dirt in or the sand in or the cobblestone, one of the things you can do is get boxes and wrap them in chicken wire if you have that. You can, once it rains and all that, the boxes are going to fall apart, but it's something that, let's say you want to have a bunker inside your house. It might be an option for indoors. Outdoors, not so much. The sandbags really are the way to go. I would highly recommend if you're interested or you're even thinking about a bunker, you need to get sandbags. And if you're going to get sandbags, you also might want to get some 2x4s and some plywood, because you could run the 2x4s over top of the sandbags, put the plywood on top, and then you could put sandbags on top of the plywood, and you've got cover from above as well. If you have that somewhere in your house, in your bunker, or in your basement, or maybe underneath your stairwell if you have one, it'll provide decent protection from not just aerial bombardment or small arm fire that might be going through your house, but it could also provide protection from radiological events.
Bingo. I was about to add that, so you get a dual use and something like that.
Yeah. So
by the way, I buy sandbags. I buy lots of them, and I can get them for almost 25 cents a piece at a local hardware store. Now, every hardware store don't carry them, but some hardware stores carry them, some feed stores carry them. You just have to call around to see who's got them, what kind of prices they are. You have to buy them in quantities to get them that cheap. Now, I hadn't bought any in a year, so they might have doubled in price like everything else, but that's what I was paying for.
Yep, they're a very good asset to have on hand. I get them anytime that I can. So I would definitely recommend investing in sandbags. So I think, that's, I think I covered pretty much all the bases that I wanted to cover tonight. You have any questions for me, Greg?
Not really. That's what I wanted to talk about. You pretty much did hit what I was looking for. You kind of gave a summary of different commercial products, the relative ratings, the cost, how much they protect you to, DIY armor. I mean, you pretty much covered a gauntlet for stuff that most people would be concerned with. Now, there's of course people that are into specialties and various niches that want to go into this aspect of that, but you gave a good general purpose discussion of the topic. And I think for most preppers, that's what they need. Now, if you're going into combat and you're going up against mild deuce, you're nuts.
Yeah, no, I would just say try to stay out of the way of that. Maybe try to reduce your heat signature and try to stay out of their thermal imaging.
For those that don't know, the mild deuce is the 50.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
you don't want to go talking to mild deuce. She's
no, you don't.
Start
Yeah. And I'll just throw these other two channels out there real quick before we wrap it up. If you want to know a lot more about what materials are capable of stopping bullets, then check out Edwin Sarkisian's channel and Demolition Ranch. They do a lot of.
I'm coming to you today. Excuse me.
It's all right.
I was trying to open up a YouTube channel, I opened up mine, and it just started talking. Sorry about that, but you're gonna have to send me the link for that because I don't know how to spell that name. Just send me the link for it.
It's okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Those two channels are very popular on YouTube, and all they do is just shoot stuff. So
for those of you that are never seen Doug or Doug's channel, this is Doug's channel here, Uncommon News 777. And you can see he covers quite a range of topics here. And so if you go in here and just search on Uncommon News, it'll come up and you can just click on it, go in, you can see I'm already subscribed. I bang the bell, which is what I ask you guys to do all the time. So go in there and help him out and subscribe to his channel. He's got 116 videos. He covers quite a range of topics. I'm sure you'd be interested in some of his content here. He holds no bars when he talks. It's amazing he's still on YouTube. So you might want to check him out while he's still here.
Yeah, one more strike and I'm gone.
I don't doubt that. He's got 701 subscribers. So help him out with that, guys. And hopefully he can stay on the platform for a while. And I don't know. I'm thinking about splitting off my some of these topics from my main channel just so that I can preserve the core of the DIY videos I got. I hate to lose everything in one fell swoop. So I'm thinking about starting a news channel, basically. I've talked about that for a couple of years, or at least for over a year. So that's something I'm still thinking about. Anyway, Doug, well, I'll unshare this now. Stop the share. I just want everybody to see Doug's channel. I'll put the link below to his channel. So Doug, I thank you once again for coming on the channel and talking.
Anytime, Greg.
There's plenty we can talk about. There's plenty going on right now. We could do another discussion about how the energy situation, maybe not too distant future, because it's kind of crazy. Here we are looking at energy shortages, and our administration is not helping us, of all things. So just something to think about. Do you think they're helping us?
No, they're helping their pockets. That's what they're helping.
Oh, amen. Amen to that. Anyway, all right, folks. With that, I'm going to say thank you again, Doug. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Y'all take care, and Greg out.